It's the SMT Media Network. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking out this video. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification so you know when we upload new videos. This particular video on the NBA, the Boston Celtics fall to the Toronto Raptors 110-97. Game kind of in the doldrums of January in the NBA season. A lot of folks won't really make a big deal about this. And I agree to a certain extent. I wouldn't say that a game in January between the Celtics and the Toronto Raptors is all that meaningful, but there are some important things we need to discuss. So to get things started first, for the most part, I think everybody was active for the Celtics. It wasn't like a situation where they didn't have their key cogs, their main players. Jason Tatum played a ton of minutes. Kristaps Porzingis, a ton of minutes. Drew Holiday, 30-plus minutes. Jaylen Brown played 33 minutes. Derek White played 21. Al Horford played 21. The usual suspects. Nothing crazy. Peyton Pritchard off the bench did play a lot. He actually scored quite a bit. He had a great game, 20 points. Very helpful off the bench. Him and Horford gave you a little bit. But you fall to the Raptors, who are now 10-31. Not a very good team. They do have excellent young talent, but I don't think they're a very good team. They don't win a lot of games. And the Celtics, obviously, their aspirations are to defend their title. And, you know, the expectation is that they're going to be there, right? The Eastern Conference Finals, I believe, runs through Boston, right? It's you always go with the champ. But there are clearly some things that are not functioning properly on this team. Not saying it's like a cause for concern to the point we're panicking. We're just looking at the way they're playing the game. Okay, so let's take a look at the game itself. Against the Raptors, the Celtics were up 4 after 1. They were down 2 at halftime. And things didn't really improve. They were outscored in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, they could only score 15 points. Their offense had a hard time getting points today. Tatum got you 16. Jaylen Brown got you 10. Kristaps Porzingis got you 18. Drew Holiday got you 12. Derek White got you 6. The overachiever for the Celtics clearly was Peyton Pritchard. Everybody else kind of not enough. Right? I think that's a fair way to evaluate it. Now, with respect to the Raptors, some really solid outings there from Scotty Barnes got you 18. Portal got you 16. Davion Mitchell got 10. RJ Barrett, nice game, 22 points. Grady Dick got you 12. Didn't get much off the bench, a little bit, but the starters played very, very well. When I look at some of the stats for the Celtics, when I look at, like the team stats, they shot 39%, which is poor. Right? You'd like to see that a little higher. 3-point percentage, they're like 35%, so not too bad. Better than the Raptors. They took 46 threes. We've seen some games where the Celtics will take like 57, right? They shot the free throw poorly, 50%. They got out-rebounded by the Raptors by 11. Turnovers, they didn't throw the ball away much, but they gave up a lot of points in the paint. Okay, so that, to me, I think when I look at the shooting, they didn't shoot great, and then I think giving up all those points in the paint, obviously, that's a problem. Okay, so I don't know. Did I see anything glaringly horrible? I don't know. Tatum was 3 of 9 from 3. I thought Porzingis played a pretty good game. He seemed to do a nice job on both sides of the ball. A few turnovers, you could say that might be kind of concerning. Drew was 0 for 3 from 3, right? So he didn't shoot it well. Derek White was 1 for 7. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like those are the types of players that maybe shouldn't be taking 7 threes, right? Derek White. I get it. He can hit some threes and, when he's on, but when he's off, 1 for 7, right? Sam Hauser, 1 of 5 from 3. You got Al Horford taking 8 threes. And this kind of is what I was alluding to about the Celtics. I'm not hitting the panic button on the Celtics. But when you got Al Horford the way you're running your offense, you got Al Horford taking 8 threes a game. You got problems. He's not a prolific three-point shooter. He's not the guy you want to draw plays for. I mean, he's probably open for most of those threes. But, I mean, let's be honest. Do you really want Al Horford taking 8 threes a game? And I like Al Horford, and I like what he brings to the table. He's a pro's pro. But that's not how I'm building my offense. You know what I mean? If you want to take your best three-point shooters and get them in those spots, Porzingis only took 5 threes. You got Horford taking 8 because the Raptors are giving him that. You know what I mean? So, and I could be critical of Tatum. 5 of 15 shooting. You're not always going to have a great shooting night, Even the best players have off nights, but and the rest of the stat line looks good, right? 7 assists, 10 rebounds. Jason Tatum is a great player. He's probably top 5 in terms of talents. He's very, very good. And, this team, I think, is underachieving a little bit currently. I don't know, maybe they've got to adjust some things offensively. I don't know. Again, playing 5 out and trying to take all these threes and stuff, when that 3 doesn't fall, I mean, you're getting your ass kicked, right? You're losing by 13 to the Raptors, seeing games where they're getting beat by teams where they really shouldn't be losing to. I just think they got to clean some things up. Maybe it's the philosophy of how they get their shots. I don't know. I'm not hitting the panic button. I think it's going to be Celtics and the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. Are the Celtics, when I'm looking at the standings here, am I concerned about the Celtics? Well, not really. And the reason why I'm not really concerned about the Celtics is because within the standings, it's Cleveland, who I think is going to finish first in the East. I think the Celtics finish second. I think the Knicks, they're going to finish third, and the Bucks fourth. So, the way it kind of is, I think that's how it's going to play out. Could the Knicks pass the Celtics? I think the Celtics would have to lose a lot of games. I think they'd have to kind of unravel for a couple of weeks for that to even be a realistic thing. I think the Celtics are going to figure it out. I think they'll find ways to become more efficient on the offensive end. And they'll figure things out. They're the champions. You can't just, discount that. So yeah, I think the Celtics will be fine. It's just not great for them right now. I think defensively they could turn up their intensity a little bit more. Maybe get a little bit more out of Jaylen Brown. Maybe there's some things that are a little bit out of sync. You've had some guys in and out of the lineup, and you typically get a little bit more from your bench. But give them some time, I guess, to get their guys back in the lineup and kind of get acclimated, figure some things out. And they've proven it. They're champions. So I'm not gonna bail on the Celtics. So what do you guys think? Where are you guys with the Celtics? Scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you for the Boston Celtics? My concern level is like a 2. I'm not very concerned at all. The only reason I'm putting it at a 2 is because if they have aspirations to finish first in the East, they're going to have to figure things out pretty quickly. I mean, the Cavs continue to win. And if they're going to try to finish second in the East, I mean, the Knicks are 3 games behind them, maybe. Something like that, 3.5 maybe. 2 games behind them, actually. So they're close. They're within striking distance. Knicks get hot. Celtics get colder. And we got a situation. And, of course, the Bucks aren't even that far behind the Knicks. So they could be in play there. They could rip off some more games. We'll see. I'm not going into panic here. I think the Celtics are a very good team. I think they'll figure things out. But we'll see. Tough loss to the Raptors. Looking at who they play next, the Celtics, after losing to the Raptors, they've got the Magic on Friday, and then they've got the Hawks on Saturday, so back-to-back games. And then they go out west to play the Warriors next week, and the Clippers, and the Lakers. So they definitely have some winnable games. They can beat the Magic, they can beat the Hawks. They can, anytime you go out west, it could be a little tricky, but they can beat the Warriors, they can beat the Clippers. I think the Lakers, that's an automatic win. They can also beat the Mavericks, too. They're going to have a tough game against the Rockets at the end of the month, but they'll be hosting them. So that'll be an interesting one to watch. But let me know what you guys think about the Celtics. That's what I'm seeing. That's my take. What's yours? Drop me a comment.